And now back to Static Shock.
Makes you ponder a few questions, though, if we're really going to be talking about this. Normally, it's this whole thing started the Big Bang and stuff, right? Everyone gets the powers from the Big Bang. Now, here's a question. Given all the people we've seen with powers and shit, it makes you ponder one thing. How many fucking people were there at that site?
According to the number wasn't fully confirmed in the cartoon, but in the comic, it was confirmed up to 500 kids were at those docks that night.
Okay, hold on.
It was a gang war.
So you're telling me it's in the comics it's like 500 kids, right?
Yeah, give or take, and plus a few other people.
Yes, because there was clearly more than just kids in the show that got contaminated and become a Bang Baby.
Yep, like there was an old man who got Bang Baby powers as well, just by being in the proximity.
At my age, it's rather odd to find oneself a baby again.
A baby?
However, instead of gaining powers of my own, I can only give them to others, as I did with Run and Jump, and as I did with you.
Now, here's my problem with all this and stuff. Most of that stuff in that Bang Baby War and stuff in the show started because Virgil got into this like gang fight and things like that. And because he joined those guys that protected him from Hot Streak and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But now here's my problem with this. Like, that explosion, usually people would thought this, only those guys would be affected by it because you saw them in the hospital room where they've been mutated and shit like that,
Yep.
you know?
Some of them got a lot more exposure than, safe.
Yeah. But the problem is with my problems with this is, like, how the fuck was the explosion radius big, or was, like, everyone legitimately hanging around that area at that time? Because
some people were there purely by circumstance, actually.
Right. Yeah, like, I guess that would make sense, but it just kind of irks me in a way, like, so many people got their powers and stuff, and yes, people would say Bang Babies. It's like, were they even there during that? And if so,
actually, I can tell you this much in the comics, though. From the comics alone, this is probably true for the cartoon as well. Unfortunately, out of those 500 some odd people that were, confirmed to be in the vicinity of the docks that night, because again, most of them it was a big fat gang war. The problem is that out of all those people, there were roughly about 50 some odd survivors. Some of them died. Like, and by some, I mean a lot.
So you're telling me about 500, you said 500 kids in total or so, was...
Give or take, yeah.
500 kids, give or take or so, were completely... 500 kids or so were in that explosion, and you're telling me only, like, legitimately 50 survived?
Because apparently the gas was so toxic for so many. I mean...
So you're...
For what I understand...
you're legit...
Go ahead.
I just want to point this out. You're legit telling me, Crossy and Zammy, and everyone that's watching this video right now, about 450 people died near that?
Mm-hmm, because it was a very mutagenic and experimental chemical. For what I understand from the comics notes, the police were told it was supposed to be some experimental semi-radioactive paint that would tag gang members, because gang violence was a huge problem in Dakota.
I'm just so confused and concerned with this show here now, because, like...
You have to know, the cartoon toned it down.
I know I shouldn't try to compare the show and the comics, but seeing how they based it off the comics, but it's so concerning knowing... Yeah, and it's more concerning that you know more about it, like, especially with the whole 500 people incident. Like, what are your guys' thoughts about that?
I had to do a lot of digging on basically comparing notes and crap to the comics. And I actually found a lot of those notes by pure chance when I was digging around for info about the cartoon, ironically. Because I was trying to see if there was anything I missed when I was doing the research, putting the research notes together. So yeah, that was a clusterfuck for me. I'm like, holy fuck. Almost 500 some odd victims, give or take a few. And we have so many possible deaths out of all of that. They either probably died from the gang violence or from the gas, because either way, it's still pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, how is that exposure... Like, how strong is the chemical exposure in testing things? Like,
I guess it depends on how much you take in. Like,
I'm guessing so.
I'm guessing that's how much...
Because it shows it has different effects, apparently, on every person.
Like, I think you took the words out of my mouth. Like, that... Like, I'm just... Ooh.
I'd have to exactly say the same.
Just
like I'm legitimately fucking concerned. Like for real. Like you're telling you can't. I'm sorry to get like this, but you can't expect me not to. Like you try to. If you tell me this and then you try to move it on with a different topic, I'm gonna be like, no. Rewind a minute. What do you mean 500 people and stuff? And then you tell me this, I'm just like, I'm legitimately concerned.
Like I said, the cartoon toned a lot of this stuff down because, let's be honest, this was a cartoon marketed. Target audience was basically kids roughly 6 or 7 to mid-teens at the most here we're looking at. So they had to tone a lot of it down. Otherwise, the series would have been unwatchable for any children. Period. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but yeah, marketing unfortunately talks.
Like, I know I shouldn't worry about it too much, but I am legitimately concerned. You know.
If anything, we could probably make a discussion video about this.
Probably. Stay tuned for when we choose to do that, folks. Okay.
Yep. Should we move on to antagonists or any other notable characters?
Here's the problem with that. I want to point out there's a lot of characters to work with. I'm thinking we're gonna move on to the villains, but before that, thing is about the whole notable characters and stuff. Given how they have one sole episode dedicated to them and everything, and they just kind of been forgotten about later since. You know what I mean?
So there were quite a number of people that could have easily been better, developed better as characters.
Mm-hmm. There's some characters that I think I just better off not seeing. For example, what's that one bitch who wanted class president and turn everyone to fucking zombies?
She was a villain, and that was Madeline.
I would have been happy if she was just in one episode and that was it.
She had two. She unfortunately had two.
Yes, I just could not stand the bitch. I literally. But point, she was so annoying. I think
this clears us from going into the villains territory because she is one of the villains in this series.
Yeah. But first, this review is sponsored by Bitch Away Spray. Got a bitch problem? Spray the Bitch Away Spray.
But yeah, we'll probably go into villains because I don't remember any much other anti-heroes from my head mostly. Thing is, I don't remember much other heroes and things. Well, there's Soul Power. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically he was an ally, not a villain, but...
No, I meant, I couldn't remember any other hero or anti-heroes. That's
why right. Oh, there was one other, Anansi. He was basically an African spider hero, actually.
Oh, I remember. The guy who was
he's the illusion master.
Yeah, he was the black Mexican Zorro-looking dude.
What the fuck?
Justin, no!
I mean, I'm not wrong.
I know, but still, bruh.
I'm trying to remember. It was oh yeah, he was the dude that dressed like Zorro.
Yeah, pretty much. Any thoughts on Soul Power and Anansi before we move on?
I got nothing to say, but given the Soul Power, it makes me think of a fucking episode of Boondocks. That's all I gotta say.
I can't fault you on that. I honestly can't fault you on that.
And as for Anansi, he's cool, I guess, but not much to work with for me to like him that much as a character.
Fair point.
I think you kind of took the words out of our mouths again.
Yeah, you covered it all.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just sitting here with our umbrella hats.
And before Crossy puts in the Soul Power dance. Okay, so back to the antagonist. We have Ebon. Well, actually, before we can go to Ebon, one little tidbit about Madeline for anyone who might be curious. As much as we all hate the bitch, basically, her powers were originally mind control and telepathy. But after Static zapped her, she gained new powers in their place. So, she lost her old powers and gained new ones.
Remind me, what are her new powers again?
Telekinesis and limited magnetism.
So it went from bad to worse. Got it.
She was basically the evil Jean Grey of Static.
Grey. Even though Jean Grey was kind of evil because she had Dark Phoenix inside her. But moving on.
At least she didn't turn to Dark Phoenix.
Not yet.
Well,
But
yeah.
You know, that girl was just too pushy.
Hey, I ain't touching that one.
I don't really hate her. I just find her so annoying because she thinks she's all that. She's so egotistical. She's fucking power hungry.
Bitch, be gone.
Oh my god. I was like, suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick.
Please.
I can't.
She clearly has problems that she needs help with and stuff.
Oh, indefinitely so. Like, she had to go. I mean, you think the rehab and anger management would have fixed her, but no, not at all. Moving on.
Legitimately, only of all the female villains that only interest me or I actually find tolerable or likable is fucking Talon, and that's saying something compared to the others. Ugh.
What about Aquamaria?
Isn't she the girl with the fucking sharp nails and shit?
Oh, no. You're
No.
thinking of Nails. Aquamaria was a girl who basically manipulated water. And at one
Yep.
point was Hot
The
Streak's
one
girlfriend.
that, yeah, Hot Streaks. She was the one that was stuck in that little experimental thing, and we're trying to turn her back to normal, but then Hot Streak came and decided to fucking ruin that.
Oh, her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not interesting at all to me.
I
Like-
can't say I blame you entirely on that one, but...
Like,
Well,
if
it hurt. It was nice knowing you. She's gonna find you and drown you.
Oh
fine.
no.
Oh, Lord.
that's fine. And that's
Oh
fine.
no.
If that's the case, then Hot Streak will find you and burn you alive.
Like, she only
yeah,
appeared
Miss-
like maybe 3 episodes, give or take.
Oh yeah, Miss Water Squirter 24/7 got it.
Oh no! How would that work?
Oh
How
my
would that work?
Here's the thing. Any woman that likes Hot Streak has terrible standards for all I have to say.
Ooh!
And she does not interest me. She's literally, I could find, like, she literally reminds me of other Marvel hero villains that is called, like, Hydro Man and other shit with water. So, again, no fucking interest whatsoever.
It's funny how we're talking about the females and the males.
Well,
The
to
birds
be
and the
fair... Yeah, my honest opinion on Aquamaria, she could have been, like... There's not much to work with her. So, yeah, I'm taking Justin's route on that one. But on top of that, the one time she actually proves to be more of a presence, more than just, background villain, she basically kind of fucks up by, partnering with Hot Streak of all people. That's saying something.
Uh-huh.
But
it's nice that she got cured.
she got cured. That was her one big, character development point. And then from there it stops. Like, she's never seen again.
Bye-bye.
Like, here's the thing. You give me 2 episodes where she's a villain and stuff, and a 3rd one, and then near the end she's cured of that, and I'm just like, what do you want me to say from there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I said, only female villain that is somewhat interesting in my opinion is freaking fucking Talon. That's about it. Even though she's a bird.
I mean, she's kind of like a harpy lady, so
You're not wrong. You're not wrong this time.
I guess she can show you her phoenix formation.
Oh God. Anyways,
I wish she was more on the show. A little upset. I'd like to see, because there wasn't any, Bang Babies that had water manipulation, so this was pretty nice. Wish she was still in the show for a little while longer before, they decided to turn her back to normal.
Right now, you're watching Static Shock. Coming up next is an all-new episode of Brave Master. And later, Toonami takes off with Duel Masters.